Today we're going to cover the 5 elements and also the stamps. Okay, the stamps. So for the 5 element is a very basic foundation of every metaphysics. And different school of thoughts for 5 element may have some different variation and some different technical words that they use. So in order to not to confuse everybody who may have learned feng shui or any other kind of metaphysics before, what I will need to request from everyone is that you have to kind of just give me a second. I need to mute somebody first. So the thing about 5 element is we need to uniform our words. So certain technical words that we use, we need to uniform it, and we need to be as simplified as possible so that we will not make ourselves confused. And just to let you know, 5 element is the most, I would say, one of the most important thing you need to learn. And please bear in mind that you need to master it. If you are not able to understand it, in the next probably 5 to 7 lessons later, you might get a bit confused. Okay. So 5 element, what is this? I mean, for those people who have gone through before, please bear with me. So if you see 5 element, there are in Chinese they call the Wu Xing. So for apologies for those who are not able to understand Chinese, but it's the 5 different elements that is interacting with one another. So there are total 5 of them, just 5 of them. You just have to remember there's a fire, there's a earth, there's a metal, water, and wood. That's all. Anything else you have to remember really, just these 5 different elements. So the idea of this 5 element is when 2 different elements come together, they form a certain reaction. And this reaction can be good or can be bad. So the idea is this. We have 2 different kind of reaction. One is called the producing. That means when something add to something, the other party that receiving the energy will increase in the energy. So for example, if I give you an illustration, wood and fire. So imagine in front of you, there's a certain fire over here. And then we add a few pieces of wood. And eventually the fire become bigger. So this is the energy whereby originally the fire is 100%. And because I add certain wood, I produce the wood, and the wood energy from 100%, it goes to 150%. So the percentage is just for internal references. There's no basis on it, but we use it for our own references so that we can understand, is this going to be good or not good? Okay, just for our internal understanding. So when we talk about producing, something produce something, the other party will receive in good energy and become better, become happier, and will have a better positive effect. So this is what produce. So when the wood is producing the fire, so the wood will make some effort, which means that the wood will become lesser in terms of energy. So in this case, the wood from 100%, it goes down to 80%. So there's a difference. The person that receive the energy, the producing, will be able to increase in energy from 100% to 150%. But the person that is giving the energy to the other person, that means producing the other person, means that he himself is going to reduce in energy. Okay, so for example, I am giving you a lecture now. So whatever important information I translate to you, I give to you, you learn already, you become better off. You learn something, so you are being produced. So I produce you. And because I produce you, I also spend some energy, which means my energy for 100% goes down to 80%. I lost 20%. I have to make an effort. So it's an illustration of element to element. So when I produce you, when something produces you, the person or the subject or the object that produced you lost some energy. When you receive the energy, you increase, you become happier, you become happy, better knowledge, or you get to be well off in that context, depending on what is the question asked. So the idea is this: when something produces you, you increase in energy. The other party decrease in energy. That's all. That is what we call producing. So now the idea is within this circle itself, you need to understand the whole cycle. So the wood produce fire, the fire produce earth produce matter, matter produce water in a clockwise direction. That's all. You just remember 5 different elements. What does produce means? And how does the relationship comes in? That's it. That is what we call the producing. Okay, so this is first part. There's another part. Okay, so anyhow, this is producing relationship. Receiving party increases in energy. Giving party decreases in energy. So in my context, I will say 100% to 150% receiving. And then giving party, they will decrease from 100% to 80%. Next, the second sector we need to look at is the clashing relationship. So the formula will still be the same. That means the location will still be the same, but how does it work? The fire, if I would say fire and the matter, okay? Imagine there's a matter, there's a fire, there's a huge fire. The fire melts the matter. So the energy of this matter from 100%, it goes down to 20%. So the fire that is burning will still maintain the energy 100%, or maybe even they lose energy, they lose a little bit, maybe about less 10%, so become 90%. So the clashing parties that is being clashed, they reduce the energy tremendously. But when the party that is creating the clash on somebody else, their energy usually maintained, or their energy lost a little bit, maximum 10%. So you must understand how does this work in terms of different kind of elements. So fire clash with matter, and then matter clash with wood. Imagine the matter itself, the axe itself, they chop off the wood, so the wood become small little pieces. And then water and fires, imagine fire over here, use the water splash onto the fire decreases energy, no more fire. And then if you talk about wood and earth, the earth itself, or the wood itself from the roots of the tree penetrate from the ground and then disperse the whole earth. That means create a lot of chaos among the earth. The earth is supposed to be very solid, but because of the wood itself, the root itself, they created a lot of loose soil. Okay, so imagine this kind of illustration, not a picture. That means matter and fire. You know, how does it work? Water and fire, when they come together, who is the winning party? And then wood and earth, so on and so forth. And then earth and water, how does it work is, imagine it's a dam. You have a huge pond, and then the whole earth is creating a dam to control the fire. So the water, control the water whereby the water cannot move out, which means that it's also clashing. So there are 2 words we need to be aware of. One is producing, one is clashing. These 2 only. Anything else we don't care about. There are other technical terms like, okay, we are controlling, you know, we are reducing. No, we just remember these 2 words, producing, clashing, full stop. That is the only information that we need to know about 5 elements. Okay, Ken? Any questions?
Just now you mentioned about the 10% and something. Can you repeat that again?
Okay. When we talk about producing, when the receiving party is receiving the producing, they will increase from 100% to 150%. When the wood is producing the fire, the wood is losing energy. So it's from 100% to 80%. That is for the producing cycle. Next, we have the clashing part. When I clash with somebody, the other party 100% goes down to 20%. But on the other side of my story is because I'm the one creating the problem for the other party, I will not reduce in energy. But in the event I do reduce in energy, it'll be very minute. It'll be like maximum 10%. You see? Okay? So we don't worry about all these things. Just understand that clashing and producing these two, that's all. And then the percentage wise, you can just jot it down within your notes.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yep.
So, in terms of comparing the impact, it would be better off if someone clash, provided he's the superior one, right? Clash with the other party, then create a producing relationship because he wouldn't lose that much. And the
Depends
in
on
a way,
depending on where are you in the relationship.
yeah,
Are you
superior.
the receiving party or the giving party or the one that is being clashed?
Okay. Typically, I'm just trying to understand the application of this. So when we talk about this, it's normally humans compatibility, right? We're talking about that.
One way. It's not always the only way.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so for example, imagine last time, olden days where our father and mother, they always force us to do certain things. We don't like to do, but they force us to do certain things. We don't like to study, they force us to study. And they use the cane and cane you and make sure that you are always studying. Isn't that clashing on you? That means make you unhappy, make you very, doing things that you don't like to do. This is what we call clashing. Or alternatively, your boss is always giving you problem, always saying that your work is not good, you're always late, you're not on time, you're always not able to deliver your KPIs, in terms of all these things. And every day scold you and scold you and scold you. Isn't that also clashing? That means it's creating a lot of issues and challenging for you. Okay, but in the eyes of the boss, to him, he's just normal, isn't it? It's just one of the stuff that is cold only. So does he lose energy? Not really. Unless he really spend the whole day talking to you and then scolding on you, then that's a different story. Okay, so there's two things that we need to understand, the clashing and the producing part. How do we apply later on? We'll give some example. Okay, so if you notice, this is 9 different diagrams where we call it the palaces. And okay, wait, let me mute somebody first. If you take a look at this phone, the M-Chimen, open the M-Chimen app itself. Okay. You just plot any chart will do. Today's chart, current chart. Okay. You look at the one at the box number 3. There is a green color over here. Okay, this green color is stand for wood element. Okay. So if you notice this particular formation, you just have to remember this formation. In fact, you don't have to remember. The formation is always consistent. So in the box number 8 is always earth. Here the center is always earth also. 2 is always earth. Then 9 is always fire. Wood 4, 3 and wood. Then 6 and 7 will be metal. So the idea is this. Every single box, there is a element. And the element in each of the box, in each of the number, is always the same. So what do I mean by always the same? So next time, now you go and plot another chart. There is another day, another year. You plot again. If you notice that this box number 3, it is still green color. So this green color stands for wood. So which means that this particular box over here in this green color, it is a wood element. And then in box number 4, if you see this is green color also, this is also a wood element. We move on downstairs to 8. You see this is a brown color. Brown color means it's an earth element. Moving on to 1. Here is, you see it, something like purple color. Okay, or maybe some this. Okay, this is a water. And then here we got the Li, which is a bit not easy to see. It's red color also. So red color stands for fire. So basically every one of the English symbol, there is already a color. It's kind of a cheat sheet to tell us that, okay, which box belongs to what element. So we look at the number below, there is a particular color, means tell us that what is the element over here. And then in box number 2 is earth. And 7, if you see this particular DUI is a gray color, is a metal. And then 6 is also a QIAN, is gray color, is also metal. So no matter how you plot, all the elements will station at the same place regardless. So in a way, we don't really have to memorize. We already know where is it. If we don't know, just look at the number below. You see the color, what is it? Then we can associate. So there are only 5. The wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. That's all. Center, don't have. Center is like a compass, so it's the middle of the compass. We don't take reference to it. Okay, can? So how do we use? Later on, we will discuss further. Before that, we will cover another important topic. It's called the stamps. Okay, the ancestors like to use very bombastic words, so they call it heavenly stamp. So I just call it the stamps, and that's all. So stamps represent what? Represent the subject, represent the person, represent the people involved. Okay, so in 10 different stamps, these are the 10 of them. So I pronounce for the sake of people who do not know this Chinese. So this is Jia. Jia. This is Yi. Yi is pronounced as Yi. Then here is Bing. Bing. Then we have the Ding. Lian Genji is Ding. Then this is Wu. Or some people they pronounce as Wu. Both are okay. So usually we call it Wu. Here is Ji is Ji. Here is Geng. G-E-N-G is Geng. Here is Xing. X-I-N Xing. R-E-N is Ren. Ren. And then here is a bit difficult because although it's G-U-I, a lot of people pronounce it Gui, but in actual fact it's called Kui, using the K sound. K. So in terms of pronunciation, it's K-U-I, it's Kui. It's not Gui here, it's Kui. Use the K sound as a representation. Okay, so we have 10 different steps. So the story actually quite interesting. Last time there's in terms of the dynasty. So who is the emperor? The emperor is the Jia. Okay, remember the Jia is scared of who? A bit of story here. The Jia is afraid of the Geng. That means the enemy is the Geng. So the enemy of the Geng is always winning the Jia. The emperor, the Jia, is always losing the war. Don't know why lah. Maybe he's stupid lah. But end of the day is he is not able to win the war. So what this emperor do is that he has these families. They call it the three nobles, the family. So we have the sister, that means the direct sister of the emperor, and then the emperor also got the son, the emperor also got a daughter. So what happened is this. the first thing that he do is that he asked the sister and arrange a marriage with the other party. That means the Geng son. So that the idea is, if both country have certain relationship in terms of marriage, the Geng will not fight the Jia anymore. So his first idea is to use the Yi to control the Geng. That means get married. So this happens already. Then after that, he finds that this is not good enough. So he go and get his son and get the daughter of the other side of the Geng to get married, so that the doctor will come over to the dynasty and then stay put, so that he can ransom the daughter. So second wave, he tried to do that. And then he find that it's still not good enough. So he used the thing, his daughter, and then marry off to the other party. So that there are 3 layers of relationship, so that Geng will not attack the Jia. So you must understand the relationship between all this. The Yi is the one that controls the Geng. So the Geng is always the enemy, right? There's only one person that can control it. That's the Yi. So next time when you see a Geng and there's a Yi beside, the Geng have no effect anymore. But if you see the Bing or the Ding together, these are also the nobles. The Yi also the nobles. So next time, when you see a situation, when you see a Yi together with a Bing, or you see a Yi together with a Ding, or maybe the Bing with a Ding together in the same box, we can jolly well say that that particular box is a very, very good box. That means the nobles are there to help you. There are people around there to help you. So that situation is one of the best combination. So that's something extra for you to take note. It's not in your notes. So the thing is, the 3 nobles, Yi, Bing, Ding, any combination, when you see 2 of them together, you will have a good combination. You will have a good box. For that particular box only, we're not talking about the whole situation, for that box only. So along the way, after that, we also have a few more other stamps. We have the Wu, Ji, Geng, Xing, Ren, Kui. So the Wu is the commander of the general. That means all the Ji, Geng, this is another set of Geng. It's not the enemy, another set of Geng. Xing, Ren, Kui, these are the commanders. And then the Wu is the leader of the commanders. So if you notice, who is the most lowest rank? The lowest rank is here. This is the, in terms of the commanders are the generals. The Wu is the leader. Then here is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. That means Kui is the most lowest in terms of rank. Why do we need to know that? Next time, when we want to look at certain things, we have to see who is more important, who is not more important, who is higher rank. Okay, as we go along. So this is just a story, just to understand how does this relationship work in the 10 different stems. So that you can, next time when you see a chart, you can see what is the implication all about. Okay, next we have, I'm going to go through one by one. What does it really mean? So the Wu. There's a few representation. It can be capital. Capital means the capital to invest in certain things. There's also representation of money, wealth. In health, representation of stomach or muscle. Or even we can say it's a blockage. Why do we say it's a blockage? Wu is a mountain. Imagine in front of you, there's a big mountain. So can I say that there's big blockage in front of you? So you have to kind of imagination. So the idea of this China's metaphysics is every one symbol, it can associate a few things. And the problem is there are so many things to associate that we cannot remember so many things, right? So we just need to understand the key point. The key point is it's a mountain and that is involved in money. That's all. Money and mountain. Anything else, we don't care. Because as we go along, step by step, we will uncover all the different meaning of this wu. So the wu, the first thing you need to know, mountain and money, that's all. Second, ji. Ji is a yin version of the earth also, so which means that it's not a big mountain, it's a small little hill. So blockage, is it going to be blockage? Yes, it's going to be blockage. Is it going to be money? No, it's not going to be money. Only the wu representation is money. So the ji stands for soil, hill, pancreas. Just remember that it's a small little hill, that's all. Not very big blockage. So small hill, one is big hill, big mountain, one is small hill, that's all. Next, we have the Geng. Okay, Geng, this is not the enemy. This is our own version. That means our in-camp one, our own side one. The Geng is still the same name, but it's also representation. It stands for matter. It stands for man. Man. And then what is, imagine it's a matter in front, a big piece of matter in front of you is also can stand for blockage. So a Geng person, in terms of character, usually they will have a lot of hardship in their life. But being a Geng person, because they are matter, they are able to overcome the hardship. They are very strong one. So next time when you were to study the Human Destiny reading, we will also uncover what is a Geng in the destiny chart. So one of the answer for it is the Geng is somebody who is going to face a lot of hardship, somebody who can overcome a lot of things, but it's going to be very black and white. What do I mean by black and white? Means that this person is either yes or no. There is no in between. He cannot be bribed. But that is a bit too far. But generally, we talk about divination, we talk about matter or man. That's all. Sing. Just now we have a matter. Now we also have a matter, but this one is smaller matter. Something small, something hard. One important thing about Sing is it stands for mistakes. Mistakes. So which means that if you were to see a Sing inside this particular box in the palace, it tells us that there could be a potential mistakes inside. So we need to be a bit more aware of it when we see a Sing. Anything else you all can just remember, as we go along. Don't have to purposely go and memorize. Our job is not to memorize. Our job is to understand. Next, we have the Ren. Ren stands for ocean, water. Okay, so something that's ocean, that's all. Don't have to worry about anything else. Big ocean. Koi. Just now we have the ocean that is clear water. Koi is also water, but I call it dirty water. That means it's contaminated. So one is clean, one is dirty. One is ocean, one is river. So one is big size, Ren is big size, Koi is smaller size. Okay, so that's the representation. Then we have the Yi. Yi is a noble, right? So Yi is the sister, so it also stands for woman. Generally, it can also represent is an older woman. It also represents a TCM, that means Chinese TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. Or perhaps it also can, in certain countries, they may not have any TCM. We can also call it alternative medicine. Okay, so it's something like you see this particular Chinese character. It's like an inverted S. So it's something like zigzag. It's like a Z. So you can always remember that this is like a Z, zigzag. So representation, older woman, TCM, zigzag. That's all. Next, we have Bing. Bing is a fire, big fire, something passionate. It's also a man. We call it third party man. So next time, when we want to see a relationship between two parties or three parties, you know, in terms of girlfriend, boyfriend, or spouse, we can see relationship. Whether you know that this person got a third party or not, whether is he a man or a lady. You know, sometime in our case, in our modern case, sometimes third party may not be always the opposite sex. It can be the same sex also. You see, so Ping is always remember is fire, big fire, and then stand for man, third party man. So we have the third party man. We also got the third party woman. So young woman. So Ting is represent as the third party woman also. Ting is a woman. It's not man. And this third party is always younger woman, young, beautiful woman. And just now the Ping is big fire. Ting is a small fire. That's all. Anything else we don't have to remember now. Okay, so far any questions? Just remember the key point, that's all. Nothing else. So when we look at one of the pillars, one of the box, all these are considered different symbol to represent different things. Then here is the trigrams. Here is the number. Here is the element. And then these two of the symbol over here is called the stems. Of course, technical term is called heavenly stems, and then we have the earthly stem. But to make things easy, I call the top stem and the bottom stem. That's all. Top stem and the bottom stem. So what does the top mean? The top means the current and the future. The bottom means whatever that is last time, past tense. It has happened already. So anything that we want to refer to past tense, we look at it below. We want to look at the current and the future, we look at the top. That's all. Okay, so top stem, bottom stem. So we have learned the stem already, we have learned the element. So which means that this particular box number 7, this one big box itself, this whole box is a metal element. Why? It's because this is gray color. Gray color stands for metal. Okay. Then I will not go into this. I will go to some example first, because I don't want to overwhelm you all. I will presume that everybody do not know anything. Okay. For those who have already know, so apology to you, because I have to take into consideration everybody that they don't know anything. Okay, how do we look at this kind of question on the element together with the stems? Now we look at this particular question. Let me expand further. You can see your elder brother suggests to join your company together to help him to sell their product. He'll be based on commission basis, inviting you to join. Is it a good choice? So basically, it's inviting you to do freelancer, you know, sell something, you get some commission. That's all. Last week, we learned about the answer. The answer is over here. Jia Chen. Jia is a hidden Jia. Jia will never appear in the 9 boxes. So in order to find where is the Jia, you look at where is the little blue box over here. Jia Chen is equals to Ren. So when we see a Jia together with a Chen equals to, the real symbol is the Ren. So in this case, our answer is in box number 7. Okay, so over here. Next, I want to introduce a new variable. This is what we call a party involved. Who is the party involved? We are the one that asked this question. I am the asker. The person that asked the question is the asker. So I will also be represented by a certain symbol. That means, what is the symbol? It is the stem. I must be represented by a stem. So me as an asker, I'm also the subject. Or it could be an object, depending on what kind of question we answer. So it can be an asker, it can be a subject, it can be an object. So in this case, based on this question, if I am the one plotting this chart, I will be the one asking the question. So I am the asker. I'm also the subject. So the key thing about an asker, subject, or object, we have to look at one particular stem, which is called the day stem. The day stem, it is always located over here in this DAY, day. We are the subject, we are the asker. So the thing over here, in this case, we are the subject. Thing is the subject. Thing is the asker. I am the thing. What we do is find out where is the thing located. Over here. Thing, I am over here. So this is asker. This is subject. And then over here, we have the answer. Okay, so as far as the question is concerned, there are only two things you need to find. First, where is the answer? Second, where is the subject or asker? That's all. Then you circle them.
May I ask you
Yes.
a question?
Yes.
What is the relevance of the asker? If I'm asking about my elder brother, you know, why am I then part of the game? You know what I mean? It should be transparent. Or
No, who is the question is, I am asking about me, whether I should be going for it. I am the more important thing.
Okay. So if I'm asking about me, that's a different thing. But if I'm asking for a client, am I then the asker? And why would it matter?
We'll go into that later. Okay, because the variation will get more complicated.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Okay, I will be patient. Thank you.
Yep. So now, two parts. Box two, which is ourselves. Box 7 is the answer. Now, going back into this question, look at the big picture. This chart is a very weird chart. If you notice, this is all the stems are the same. In every box, the stems are the same. So this is what we call a full-in chart. Full-in chart. That means the big picture is that this is, anybody knows what is the full-in chart means? Frederick, you know.
In your notes, you say that the Fuyin means that things will take a long time. They will tend to remain the same. It will take a very long time for anything to happen.
Okay, so the general representation is long, painful, and draggy. It's going to be long, painful, and draggy. That means big picture wise, the answer is going to be long, painful, and draggy. If we were to look at the whole scenario of box number 7 and 2, then now the question is, do we really need to look at box 2 and 7 anymore when the big picture tells us that it's long, painful, and draggy? Not really, right? So always remember this. The foundation of the big picture overrides everything. When we talk about big picture, it's long, painful, and draggy, which means that if I were to join this brother, you know, based on commission basis, I'm not going to make money. It's going to take a long time for me to make even $1. So it's going to be long, painful, and draggy. So the question and the answer is very straightforward. It's a no-go. I don't even have to look at box number 7 anymore. I can look if I want to, but what is the point? You see what I mean? We can go up and explore what is 7, what is 2, or the answer. Okay, but yes.
Master Chan, but supposing the answer is in box 6, which is all red, which looks very good. Does it mean that it's it take a very long time, but if you're patient, you'll benefit from it?
No. Okay, this is something debatable. If the question is, if you expect the whole scenario to be long, painful, and draggy, and the industry itself is expected to be long, painful, and draggy, and you are already in the industry, and you don't mind to wait and suffer along the way, then do you think it's good? Depending on the industry. Certain industry is like this. You have to wait a long time to have something to be positive. So it's a choice. It's not saying that long, painful, and draggy is always a bad thing. If you expected it to happen and you're able to withstand it, then go for it. It's fine. Even if it's bad, it's fine because you expected it to happen. There is one special condition on this Fu-Ying chart. When they see the answer, there's a combination of thing plus thing together. Thing plus thing. That means in the answer only, if you see there's a thing and thing, it overrides the Fu-Ying chart. That means this chart is a good chart. This is very good chart. This is only one exception only. That's all. Anytime when you see a Fu-Ying chart, regardless of what kind of combination it has, whether you see an all red or all black or a combination of red and black, it doesn't matter. It's going to be long, painful, and draggy. But when you see a thing plus thing together in the answer box itself, this Fu-Ying chart overrides by the thing and thing. Thing and thing stand on top is the number 1. Okay? This is only the exceptional.
Master Chan, just to clarify, a Fu-Ying is always a long, draggy negative. It doesn't just mean long and sustainable period.
Okay, I never say it's negative. I say long, painful, and draggy.
It will be long, painful, and draggy because going back to Frederick's question, if it does falls in box 6, if I were to read, 6 all red, right? And the right side of it spells, I remember the fatherly figure. I think it's a father that shows, things will prosper, blah, blah, blah. So I may read interpret as commission. It will be a long, sustainable period of commission earning, It wouldn't be interpreted as such because it's going to be long and draggy and painful.
Okay.
It won't be
It won't be like what you explained on this
prosperity.
case. Because
despite red and the red box.
It can be positive. But my question is, can you last so long? For example, some people, they go into property agent. So easily for the first 6 months to 12 months, it's not going to earn any money. You're going to spend a lot of money, isn't it? But if you were to track further and you were to invest your time, there is still a chance that you may make some money along the way and you may see good things coming in later. Then the point is, are you able to track for the first 12 months? Most people cannot. You see what I mean? So it's going to tell you a situation that if it's going to be good, especially all the red color in box number 6, then it's going to be very suffering at the very beginning. Can you last so long? You see? But of course, if you expected and you have all the bandwidth to last 12 months or more, then I would say that go ahead if you want to, and if you're willing to, because it's not an easy chore. You know, for certain industry, if imagine 12 months without an income, that's a different story. Not many people can last 12 months without income. You see?
The other thing also is that in box 2, which is the asker, it is Wu, which represents capital. And it is with death, it is with serpent, and also with problems. So it looks like the person doesn't have the capital, is very confused, and has lots of does it mean that does it also mean that most likely this person doesn't have the capital to wait?
That depends on how you look at it. The asker itself, there are certain representation. Asker, we talk about the character of the person. Subject, we talk about the character of the person. We don't talk about answer now, we talk about the subject. So the subject is always about the character or the status of the person. So if I were to base on this box number 2 to explain, if you were to able to go through your notes and look at your notes, this death door, what does it mean? Death door means a person that is always very stubborn, always full of themselves. They never listen to people. So this is what the death door means for the character. It means me, as the person that's the asker, that's the subject, I'm a person that's always full of myself. I will always listen to myself. I don't care about other people's opinion. So this is what a death door character will do. At the same time, I also have 2 more set of character. I have a serpent character, means I'm always worrying about something, everything, and nothing. I'm always worrying about things that may not happen. And 99% of the things that I worry about, it will not happen. And at the same time, problem star, this is a problem below, also tell me about my character. I'm also a pretty stubborn, but can be a bit friendly. You see, stubborn but friendly, yeah. You see, so this box number 2 tell us the whole generic situation of the character of the person. Why do we need to know the character of the person? Because basing on the character of the person, we can know whether, based on the question, how suitable this person may be able to do this job or not. You see? But on the other hand, if
Pastor Chan, I
yeah.
have one question. Okay,
Yes.
regarding the answer box 7, like you give an example, if let's say both heaven and the earth plate is supposed to be a good chart, right? But what if there is a cone at the top?
At box number 7,
Yes.
that means the thing and thing itself, supposed to be a good chart, is not as good as it seems. That means you discount it. Probably discount at 50%. That means supposed to be good, you just, it's still good, but it's just that it's not as good as it seems. You see, if there's a corner. But if you want to be careful, you look at, okay, let me copy this. This is for illustration only, it's not the real thing. Did I move to? I cannot move it. Okay, I move this one over here in box number 7. I move the thing. And then over here, I move the thing over here. So this is something like this, right? Can I say that? Box number 7. There is 2 things, and that's the answer, and that's the emptiness. As we already know, if there's an emptiness, we have to look at opposite box. And what does the opposite box tell us? It's box number 3. It is not in a very good condition. So we have to still take into account box number 3. What is the implication? If I were to base on this question, is it a good choice? Yes, I have a thing and thing, but I still have injury, black dog. There's a white tiger and impulse. All of them are black color. So is it really good? So I have to consider, is it worthwhile my time and my effort? And then in this kind of situation, there's also one more consideration. Because your elder brother is asking you to do it. What happens if everything flops and you didn't make it? How is your relationship with your elder brother? It may not be good, right? Sometimes it can be like that. Very, very practical one. So for the sake of families, sometimes we have to take into consideration making money and family, which is more important. Logic. Sometimes because of money, family can become enemy also. Practical. Okay, so anyhow, basing on this question, big picture wise, based on previous example, that it's not a thing and thing, it's a long, draggy and painful situation. So I would not even look at the other information and everything. I will just take into consideration that no, it's not going to work. It's not going to worth my time. So I will just kind of, tell the elder brother saying that, I have other project to do, no time to do, thank you for the offer. The kind of things. Okay, any questions?
Okay. Let's say just now you mentioned that as an asker, I need to look at the day pillar, right? Like thing. But what if let's say the chart doesn't have thing? How do you look at what? Yeah.
It could be something else. It could be
Yeah.
Bing, it could be Geng, it can be Yi, it can be any of the 10 of them.
Oh.
Then we can base on that to find where is the location of that particular symbol.
Okay.
Don't worry, we will give
Oh.
more example, and then from there you will understand the whole procedure and the process of how it works.
Okay.
Okay, no other question? Yes,
yeah.
we have. Yeah.
Master, box 2, right? Why is it only that box has like Ting and the minister on the left hand side of the box, but the rest don't have?
Okay, if you notice every chart, there is this kind of special box. One of the box, there's always an additional symbol there in the left-hand side. And that is attached to a minister also. If you notice, so every chart, there will be something like this. So don't worry about all this kind of thing, is that in this case, for this box number 5, you see there's a thing also over here. Basically, next time when you see that there's a thing over here, we automatically move this thing over here. That means there are 2 things over here. They call it the hidden stamps. This thing, everything that is 5 automatically goes to number 2 below. So next time we will have more example, not to worry. So in this case, just take it as it is first. Whether is it the thing or the geng or the ping, whichever symbols is in the stamps, there in every chart, there is one particular box will have something odd. One of the box will have something odd. And then we have to take it as it is. This is additional information. As we go along, I will teach you what is the implication of each of the box in the left side. Okay, you get the basic
Okay, thank you.
characters, and then from there we move on. Okay. Next example, we will have can see this mountain hiking trip. Okay, a friend asks you to go for a 2-day, 3-night mountain hiking trip where you'll be sleeping in the mountain and camping there. Should you go? Okay, interesting trip, huh? Because sometimes a lot of my students ask me this question. You want to go to a trip to Japan, go to a trip to, Himalaya. Then they ask me, can they go or not? They ask them to plot a chart, and then you'll see. Because sometimes you can avoid certain potential mishap or accident. Okay, how do we do this question? First thing first, we look at the hour stamp, which is here, E. Here is the answer. Answer, there's an emptiness. We look at the opposite. Automatic, every time we look at the answer, we go to opposite. This is the key information. So there are 2 black, 1 red. Next, where is ourselves? Should you go? That means I'm the asker. I plot this chart. I ask this question. Should I go for this trip? So I plot it, open my app and then plot it. Then from there, I find that myself, I'm the person who is over here. Myself is a gun in terms of representation. So from here, this gun, I have to find where am I? I'm over here. In box number 3, this is me. Me is the asker. I'm also the subject. So then this is the real answer. The box 2 is not the real answer. It's a fake answer. So we'll have to look at box 8. Okay. So if I just based on this box number 8 itself, if I were to look further, okay, this is a bit extra, a little bit more advanced. Let me kind of give you a little bit of overview first. Here is the 9 heaven, injury, destroyer. Every one of them represent a certain meaning. So if I were to say, if I were to go into this particular 2-day, 3-night, if I were to go, what will happen? Box 8 will happen. Injury. Injury means what? It could mean a few things. Physical, mental, emotional. So question is, which kind is more appropriate? If I go to mountain, will I have mental injury? Unlikely so. So I strike off the mental. Emotional? Depends. If there's a big tragic thing happen, I may have some emotion, but likelihood may not. But physical, maybe. So it's already telling you a hint that there is a possibility that there is injury may be involved. Okay, so point 1, physical injury. Second point, destroyer. Destroyer means something will be destroyed. Question is, what is going to be destroyed? Physical injury, something destroyed. You have to imagine, what can a physical injury destroy you? Destroy something. Destroy can means broken, can means spoiled, break. So I may imagine, if I were to get injured, how bad can it be? Will my bone be broken? A bit imaginative, but kind of, it makes a bit of sense. And then there's a 9 heaven. 9 heaven, there are a few meanings. I mean, all this information I illustrate It's already in your notes. It's just I'm just picking up bits and pieces from there and try to paint a picture. So nine heaven mean it can be something high. Nine heaven can also mean that I'm going to heaven. You know what I mean? Going to heaven, going to die. So, but going to heaven, if I were to go to mountain trip, if I injure, is it possible I'm going to die? Maybe a bit far-fetched. Maybe I say high. High, high I plus injury. High injury. Well, that means maybe my injury is going to be pretty severe. Okay. I mean, this is basic. And then after this, I'm based on what is over here. There's a sing and run. Just now I mentioned what a sing means. Mistakes. So I'm going to make a mistakes. And below there's a run. Run means what? Water, big ocean. But we are going to a mountain hiking trip. Is there an ocean? Or maybe there's a lake, a big lake over there. So it's going to give us an illustration. Somebody is going to make a mistakes, perhaps in the lake. Then maybe I ask your friend, the mountain that we go, is there any lake over there? Then we can kind of have some suspicious. So box 8 does not tell us anything good. Although there's a one red color, but the representation of it, if I combine them together, it doesn't seem anything very fantastic. So box 8, we take it as it is first. Don't have to worry. Next, we look at our asker. Asker, which is ourselves. Who we are, what is our character. Okay, over here in this box number 3, this is our character. We are a leader. Okay? That means we are able to lead. Obstruct, somebody who is a bit more introvert, prefer to be alone. And then somebody can be quite clever, intelligent. So kind of tell us something nice about ourselves. Okay, now the situation is we are also a Geng person. That means it's describing us. Okay, this Geng is not the enemy. This Geng is talking about ourselves. This Geng, we are one of the Geng. What does a Geng means? It's a metal, heavy metal. That means we are very strong. We are able to overcome a lot of obstacles. So which means that I am a person that has good leadership, introvert, clever, and able to overcome obstacles. Full stop. This is the person's character. Then the answer is telling us potential danger, injury. So now the thing is, should we go or not? Dilemma, right? Our friend asks us to go and tell them we don't want to go because potential injury, then they'll say you're crazy. Okay, how should we do further? Remember the element? We have to see the element to element relationship. So what does it really mean? We see the box to box relationship. Let me illustrate for you. Focus on this box 3. This is ourself. This box 3 is green color. This is wood. Why is wood? Because it's green color. Box 3 is always wood. That means ourselves, we are representing as a wood. That means I am the asker, I am the subject, I am represented by a wood. That's all. We don't care about anything else. We just see this box itself, box 3, we are the wood. Second, what is the answer? The answer is over here, box number 8. See this? Box number 8 below is earth. Earth, brown color, equates to earth. So remember the relationship. When the earth and the wood comes together, Is it a producing or a clashing? Do you remember? When wood and earth comes together, is it producing or clashing?
Clashing.
What clash what?
Wood clashes earth.
Wood clashes. Oh, can I say that box number 3 clashes with box number 8? Make sense? So if I were to base on an arrow, that means box number 3, it clashes with box number 8. So remember just now our formula was what? When we clash somebody, that somebody or something is going to lose in terms of energy. That is to say, the energy of the answer supposed to be 100%, but because I am the asker, I am the wood, I am clashing with the answer, now it becomes what? It becomes 20%. So my answer is supposed to be 9 heaven injury. It's supposed to be 100% of the energy. But because I am there, I am wood, I am clashing with the earth, it becomes the earth reduced from 100% to 20%. So that is how we apply the box to box in terms of element. So a few things we need to remember. There are 5 different elements. Second, there are 2 different relationships. One is clashing, one is producing. Then once we see the box to box, we see the subject and we see the answer. 2 boxes come together, we see what is the element of each of them. And when they combine together, is it a good relationship or is it a bad relationship? If it's bad, what happened? If it's good, what happened? Is it confusing? Or blur until don't know how to answer it, ask already.
Looking at that, would we say that box 3 would greatly overcome box 8, so can go ahead because it wouldn't lose much, say 10%. Since it clashed with earth, right? At max lose 10%, it's okay.
Yes.
However, if 8 say is swapped by not wood, instead is by something that's very bad. Say
Fire. Let's say it's fire.
yeah, right. Fire, because wood produces fire, right?
Yeah.
Then in fact, it would lose a lot more. Am I right to say?
You will lose 20%, but at the same time, box number 8 will increase from 100% to 150%. In fact, it makes things worse. That means we are the one that's creating the problem. You see?
Okay. Looking at the the elements, we look at elements so that we know which box is more relevant or which box is more significant. Am I right to say?
Yes.
Like,
we only got 2 boxes now, 3 and 8, that's all.
Okay. So that means okay. How about the 更 there?
This is us. Doesn't matter. We are the one.
Okay.
Represent us. So it's not significant.
Master Chan.
Yep.
So does it mean that if it's reduced to 20%, that means the outcome of an injury will be much, much less?
Lesser, much lesser. But here's the key point here. Much lesser doesn't mean that it will not happen.
Okay.
Maybe the degree may be lesser, the severity may be lesser, but the chances of happening is also pretty high. Maybe you have a scratch, bleed a little bit. Your bone won't break. But of course, people who are scared, they will immediately say, okay, no, I'm not going already. We don't care about whether it's clashing or not, no go, next time.
Can I look at it in this perspective that if let's say, for example, if I care about a friend, right,
Yeah.
I say that I better go with you because I'm good.
Well, if you want to be so helpful, you may. It's a choice. It's a risk that you have to take.
No, because I mean we're trying to avert an injury, right? I mean I'm just thinking out loud.
You can always propose something, it's a friend, right? So you can always say, this coming trip, I'm not very available. Can we rearrange to 2 weeks later? That is a different scenario altogether.
Yeah.
But this particular question is talking about that particular trip that's already arranged. So which means that at that point of time, it's a wrong timing to go for the trip. Remember, Simon is always about doing the right thing at the right time. If you do things at the wrong time, then you get into trouble. And that particular case, this case is a wrong time to go for the trip. You see? Okay. So far,
Master Chen, can I ask you a question?
yes, please.
On the previous case, you mentioned that from box number 5, the stem is moving to box number 2, but in this case, it has moved to box number 1 downwards, right? So can it vary? Is it not always moving to box number 2? In this case, you see in box number 1, we have 2 stems.
Which
so
one? 5? This one?
So from 5, the G has moved down to box number 1. There's G and Bing,
No,
right?
there
In
are
box
two.
number 1.
In every Schimann chart, there are two different. Every stem, there are two of them. If you notice this chart, this one. Okay, let me crop. It's easier. This G is automatically goes over here. If you notice, this G is at the top. It's not at the bottom.
Right.
This is at the bottom.
Right.
So one is top, one is bottom.
Oh.
So that explains.
Okay. And the bottom one can move to palace 2 or palace 1 or box 2 or to any box,
No,
right?
five
It can move.
automatically goes to box number 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just remember, everything that is on 5, it always goes to box number 2 below. Bottom.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then the other one will always be at the left-hand side in one of the other boxes. If you notice, go and open a chart and look at where is not the G. The box 5 is always hidden. And then the other one is always in one of the boxes at the left-hand corner, left-hand side of the box. One of the box. The rest of them is always on the right-hand side, right? This is only the particular special person. They are so special, they always want to be, different. But anyhow, as we go along, when we get more familiar with the structure, then we understand what does it really mean. So not to worry about all these things. These are all very minute things that we need to pay attention to.
Master Chan,
yeah.
sorry, looking just another last question. Looking at the 3 and 8 box, right? The zhen and the gen, yeah. What can we infer from there? Because they're supposed to spell like something like zhen means it's going to move very fast, and then the gen is supposed to be. Yeah, I'm trying to make reference to the note because I cannot remember.
Gen is a mountain.
Yeah. So are we supposed to read anything from these two?
We can if you want to. The thing is, I'm more concerned about the injury.
Oh, okay. So it won't be, we can't tell, we can't read anything further, right, for this, other than the...
We can. That means if you based on box 8, we already know that this is a mountain trip, isn't it? So the box 8 also tells us it's a mountain, isn't it?
Right. It
Then
does.
box 3 is something that's quick. That means ourselves, we are somebody
very fast.
Very fast. That means we are able to react very fast. For us, that means it represents us.
Okay.
Okay, so but in this case, does it really matter whether we are able to react very fast? My point is, am I able to control the situation? If I'm able to, then perhaps maybe I will want to go, to help my friends, to salvage the situation. But if people were a bit scared, then they'll say, no, better don't go. So depending on individual too. And Felix, you have questions?
Yes, Master Chan. I would like to clarify, okay, the date and time when we ask the question. The 14th of April, 2013, and the time 1740. Does it represent the day and time that we are asking, or does it represent the day and time that we are departing for the trip?
In this case, when somebody were to ask me, I wanted to ask, I will base on that time whereby I ask, I plot the chart. Okay?
Okay.
That is one way. Second way, if you want to be more careful, there are people a bit more, they want to see more areas. So what they do is, they will plot the day and the time whereby they are going for the trip. They change the date based on the day that they go for the trip and see what is the energy over there and tell us a story. But usually, I will not even waste too much time on that, because in this case, I just open up a chart. When I want to ask the question, I open the chart, and then from that chart, I will see what is the answer already. Then I'll make a decision. I don't have to go for any other chart.
Okay, further question to this. Okay, will the chart change if we change the day and time, of asking? Let's say, in your example, 14th of April. So can I confirm whether this trip is viable or not? I will ask again, probably the next day, the following day at different time.
Okay.
Do you think the chart will change?
There's a unwritten rule. Respect the first chart that you plot. Meaning that even if you try to cheat the system, I call it cheat, that means you purposely go and find a chart whereby it's the best chart and then go and plot it. The first chart energy still remains. Okay, so there are a lot of students, what they do is they will ask this question, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? First chart, no good. Then the next thing they will do, they'll go and find a good chart. 2 days later, they go exactly on that point of time, they go and plot the chart. It's a good chart. This is what I call cheating.
Okay,
And
the reason... Okay, carry on.
I finished already.
Okay, the reason why I ask is because we have a case study among our buddies. Okay, one of them actually asked the situation. It seems unfavorable, but after that, when we do the chart, we plot the chart, to understand further, it turns out to be favorable. So, that's the reason why, based on this example, I just want to clarify whether we should, based on the very first chart that we plotted, instead of, replotting the chart, in a different day, on a different day and different
Basing on the formula, respect the first chart.
Okay.
And then additional information is, when you plot the second chart or the third chart, in between, is there any major changes that happens? If there's no major changes that happens, then you still have to reuse the first chart. Unless there's major things that is different, then you can say, okay, if that's the case, I may have to look at the second chart.
So the only reason why we plot the second chart is the first chart, we ask whether it's viable or not. The second chart is whether, on that particular day of departure, and time of departure, that is the only alternative chart that we can plot to check the situation, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thanks so much.
Okay. And anybody else got any question? Please do not be shy to ask. This is very important because the element to element is one of the most important questions. So the sector that you need to understand. If no question, I shall give you another example before I move forward.
Master, I got a quick question. If the first chart was about 3 months ago, and of course, if there's some changes, then you can ask a second question, right? Like more of like a continuation of.
Yes, if there are some major changes you think that is significant enough that may impact the outcome.
Okay.
But if let's say within the last 3 months you have done nothing and the other party also done nothing, then we just, what's the point of plotting, because everything is status quo.
Okay. So you use back the first chart for the answer again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, it would not be wrong also to plot the chart again 3 months later, because sometimes due to environmental factor, economic factor, some things may change due to, we cannot anticipate. Then we just basing on it to see. But as per what I see, a lot of my students, what they do is when they plot a certain question, basing on the similar question, they plot 3 times, 5 times, 6 times. Every time they will find a similar thing. Ironically, they always find a similar thing.
Okay. Yeah, that
Okay.
makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so anyhow, we go into this particular. Cindy had a big agreement with his boyfriend asking you if they will eventually get married. So the thing is over here, thing is here. And then this is the answer. And then where is Cindy? Cindy is the asker. Asker is a subject. We are not the person asking. The other person, Cindy, is the person. Bing. This word is called a bing. This time is called bing. So we need to find where is the bing. Bing is over here. So look at box number 1. The answer.
Master, can I check with you?
Yes.
Because I saw there are 2 ping in the chart, like box number 4 and number 6. But why do you choose number 6?
Oh, where's this? Is the one below.
Yeah.
Remember, whatever thing that we do, we always want to look forward.
Okay.
We don't want to look at the things behind.
So
there
means
is
if you pick
past
the number 6, you're looking at like today for this person.
Okay, anything that is current and the future is always on top.
Okay.
If you see box number 4, the ping is below. The
Okay.
ping is at the below of the 4. Then the 6 is at the top, on top of the kui. So one is top, one is bottom. So we always look at the one at the top.
Thanks.
So box 6 is the key ping that we need to see. So anyhow, if we were to see, okay, we just look at box number 8. Everything is black. So can I say that likelihood they are not going to get married? No, no chance. Okay, but let us analyze what is the implication in this case. The Cindy is number 6. Cindy, there's a horse over here. Cindy, there's a horse means somebody who is not very stable. Technically, he's not very stable person. Horse shaky you ride on the horse, it always shake, right? So it's like a shaky person. And if I look at box number 8, it is a earth. How do I know it's earth? Because this girl is a brown color. This is earth. And then in box number 6, we ourselves, that means Cindy itself, he is a metal. Metal. So when the idea of the 5 element theory, metal and earth comes together, what is the relationship? Anybody?
Producing.
Producing. So what produce what?
Earth produces metal.
Earth produces metal. Okay, so which means that the energy that is no good, supposed to be a death, white tiger, and a problem, is producing Cindy. Cindy energy from 100%, it goes to 150%. That is to say that Cindy is actually very happy about it. He's enjoying the process. The breakup, the potential breakup to her, technically, for her, is a good thing. She's happy about it. But of course, when Cindy asked, she will say a different story. But internally, when we see the chart, we know that if this is the case, Cindy will be very happy about the whole thing. Ironically, this is what we see, additional information that other people cannot see. Even Cindy were to tell us that she's very sad, but we know that Cindy is going to be very happy afterwards. Strange, huh? Why is that so? You know why? Where is Cindy? Cindy is box 6. Cindy is represented by the ping. What does a ping stand for?
Third party, somebody else is there.
Yeah, somebody else is there. So he has another boyfriend already. So we can kind of see that, okay, Cindy probably want to ask for the sake of confirmation. After that, she can go for another boyfriend. She already got a boyfriend anyway. So that's how interesting it is. We know that Cindy got a boyfriend. And we cannot tell Cindy that we know that she got a boyfriend. So that's how intriguing Qimen can be. So we can see a lot of things from Qimen. Sometimes the asker or the subject, when they ask us, they never tell us anything. We will know what is really going on. And I can tell you accuracy can be so jaw-dropping, whereby they'll ask you, how did you know? If you don't believe, when you get the hang of it on this, learning how to use this Qimen, go and try it out with your friends, and see what happens. And tell us the story about it.
Hey, Master Chan, typically I thought, you look at the hourly, the day chart, I thought typically it should be appearing in the right side of the box. Correct? Heavenly and the earthly stamps.
Yes.
Rarely you have a second, or I think only 1 in 9 boxes that you have that added.
Yes.
Any
Every chart there is one. Technically, there's a reason behind it.
not enough space.
Basically, yes, there's not enough space.
Oh, okay. Really?
So what they do is they put it on the other side.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
of course, you must understand what is the implication behind it. If you know the implication, then apparently you know how to, look into the depth of it. Rather than looking at not enough space, there's another meaning behind it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I hope that answered your question. Okay, let me see any other question in the chat box. Okay, no other questions?
Sorry, would there be a chance whereby the answer and the question is in the same box?
Yes, there is.
Or then what does it mean?
We have to look at things separately.
Okay.
And then after that, when two of the similar element together, so that's another condition. When two parties of the same energy or the same element come together, means they are in harmony. Okay, so the technical term is called HARMONY, harmony. So when they are in harmony, means that both of them are okay with one another. They will support one another, so much so that their energy also will increase. So if two similar people of the same mindset come together, they join force together, there's a saying, 1 + 1 = 3, right? So in this case, when come together, both of them are the same, it become amplified in terms of energy. Usually I call it 200%, to make things easy. So harmony, when two boxes come together, equals to 200%. That means that particular box itself increases in terms of energy. Not 100%, but 200%. Okay? Okay, we'll give more example as we go along. We slowly introduce a few other new concepts, but get the hang of it. More important, understand the 5 elements. Even if you have learned before, use our terms, producing and clashing. Full stop. And try to see when different elements come together, what is producing, what is clashing. Sometimes people also get mixed up. Really, because only 5 of them, it's not 10. So it's a bit tricky for some people. Especially for myself, when I first started off, I also get confused. I also make a lot of mistakes in the 5 element, honestly speaking. So after that, I get polished up. I polish myself in the 5 element. I become so good in it, whereby, I'm teaching everything. Okay, yes.
It seems like when you are analyzing or when you are going through these examples, right, the 5 elements play a very big part and overrides quite a bit of the other, like for example, the meaning of the duty and all that. Is that right?
We have not really gone into that yet, basically.
Okay.
I want you all to understand the element implication. Oh yeah, by the way, this chart is also a very special chart.
Isn't it the Fan Yin?
Yes, this is a funding chart. What is a funding chart? Funding chart, if you see, in the opposite, here is a Kui and Ping, and then we have a Ping and Kui in the opposite. So it's the same. Here is Ren and Yi, then it's a Ren, Yi and Ren. So everything is flip. When it's a flip, we call it a Fan Yin chart. Okay, what is a Fan Yin chart? Fan Yin, F-A-N-Y-I-N. Fan Yin means everything will be changing very fast, flip-flop. Change fast. F-A-S-T, and then flip-flop. So there are possible implications for this question, meaning that would they eventually get married? Things will happen very fast. Things also flip-flopping. So which means that, yes, both of them will break up. After that, they will come together, break up, come together again. Something like that. Basing on this implication. But of course, we still have to look at things at the answer. Flip-flop doesn't mean it's good or bad. It just tells us that it changes fast, that's all. And it's always flip-flopping.
Master.
Yep.
Let's say the asker fall under the box number 4 is empty there. So that means I still have to refer to box number 6, right?
No.
No, you still straight away refer to box number 4.
Yes.
Okay.
In any situation whereby the subject or the asker, there's emptiness inside, we do not look at the opposite. When we look at the opposite, we only applies to the answer. Okay, this sentence very important. Any emptiness, we only look at it when there is an answer. If there's not an answer, it's a subject or anything else, we don't care. Okay, this one is a common mistake for a few person also. So along the way, they always say, okay, I might ask her, there's emptiness, I have to look at opposite. No, cannot. We just look at it as it is. Many a times when, in the olden days, they said, the asker is empty, we look at the opposite. After I analyze so many charts, I find that whether to look at the chart opposite, it makes no difference. Might as well save the steps. Because the implication is, what is the answer? What is the clashing of element? Is it yes or no? As simple as that. The answer will not change one. Even if you change to the other side, it makes ourselves more confusing only. That's all. You see, so look at the one that is I'm sharing with you. Don't look at the one opposite. Do not need to. Okay. That will be all for today. If you have any other further complicated question, you are welcome to ask in the group chat. If you are shy, you are welcome to message me privately. If you want to meet me, you can always arrange privately also. You know, for people who are not in Singapore, you may have to fly over to Singapore and meet me. One day, maybe things will happen. I have students from US, UK, Japan, Australia, you know, New Zealand. They also, when they have time, they just fly over, not to purposely meet me, but you know, by the waiting. Okay, I also frequent to different countries like Malaysia too. So maybe one day, you see, it can happen.